Welcome back to Project Brupeg as we steam north to our next project. Last week you saw us head through the Hinchinbrook Channel, a pretty remarkable place, incredible to be able to steam through there, and we pulled into a small harbour tucked in the side of some mountains called Mourilynn Harbour. This episode we're steaming north up the east coast from Mourilynn Harbour to Fitzroy Island and then onwards into Cairns.
It's Flinders Island, we're coming up to it. We're just about the end of our trip. The last hour is always...
It's also called Fitzroy.
Fitzroy! I keep calling it Flinders. We haven't gone to Tasmania, I promise. So, last hour of the trip. But, there is a whale just turning up out here.
One or two? I reckon there could be two there.
Let's see if how steady I can hold this.
It's true. We can make this one up.
Oh, wow.
Did you see it?
Yes, it's at the tail.
I think it could be three.
Woo.
I've lost the ball.
Brupeg was a sunken fishing trawler that was stripped out and ready for the scrapyard. She's just completed a 10-year rebuild that's brought her back to life. With the help of volunteers and funded by our Patreons, community and subscribers, she'll be crewed by passionate people from around the world. If you'd like to be involved and support the project, please consider joining us on Patreon or subscribe to the channel. There's a link in the description below. This was the second pod of whales we saw on our journey north.
In Australia, you're supposed to stay 100 metres away from whales or a pod, 200 if they're with a baby, unless you're staying still and they come up to you, which is what happened. They came really close, went in front of the boat, in front of the bow, and they went on their way.
To break the trip up, we decided that we'd anchor at Fitzroy Island, which is only a couple of hours outside of Cairns, but it gives us a chance to see a bit more of the country as we're moving north.
The guys just hauled the boat vertical up a coral beach. Oh my god, I've never seen a beach made of coral. It's incredible. The whole beach is like this. Right the way down. Remarkable.
We spent the night on anchor here at Fitzroy Island, not far from Cairns. Pulled the anchor in the morning, giving a little bit of a clean before we pull it all the way out and head into Cairns.
So we're fairly close to Cairns now. It's only a very short trip, it's an hour and a half, 2 hours or so to get from the island that we're at to Cairns. If you have a look at the island that we're at was over here. Oop, crikey dick. Let's go back. Island that we're at was over here. You can see our track there. And where we're heading to is the port just over here. So we've just got to get around a little headland. There's a yacht over there that we're pretty much pacing, and there is another yacht out there, a 20-metre yacht, that's doing about the same. So there's a group of us heading in, but you can't really see a lot because the sort of rain and weather's a bit just sort of shitty. Visibility is quite low, probably only a couple of miles at most, maybe a mile. The seas have been pretty good. A little bit confused when we came around the island because we had this swell, which is probably a half metre, 1 metre at worst swell, but coming around the island it was sort of funneling up. So show you a bit more of a bigger picture. It was sort of funneling up this direction here, and as it came around the island it was sort of wrapping, so we had, you know, two different waves crashing onto roughly where we were, so it just made it a wee bit awkward. But we're out of all of that now. We've just got nice following seas, boats behaving pretty well. Yeah, we'll be in. It is 8 in the morning, 0800. I think we'll be in at 9:30. We are running low on food on the boat, so we're going to go in and find some food. We're going to be pulling into a Navy wharf, a repair facility up there, but there's been some changes with the Cairns Navy cadet thing. We may, unfortunately, be missing out on taking our kids in Cairns, which is a real shame because they got a big military sort of presence here. There's, I think from memory, there was about 60 odd cadets in Cairns alone, so it's a real shame. So it looks like Cairns for us is going to be very Brupeg focused, but we've got some very cool projects that we're working on. This is the entrance to Cairns, so just basically coming around the headland where there's a big bay beside us. over here. Can't see much because it's so rainy and so on. We're coming around this headland, which is just in front of us there, and then we'll line up with the channel. Looks like we've got some laser lights or something to guide us in. Jess is up on the bridge with us. She got into a fist fight, so she's a bit second hand. So we were cruising along with autopilot on, and we came off the side of a weird wave. Autopilot did a lurch to one side. Jess was sort of standing side onto it, not expecting the lurch, and it kind of like twisted her body in a funny way, which did like a small rupture. Or so that's why she's all braced up. Just yeah.
And this is part of the condition, you know. We knew that may happen, so I've been really lucky up to now. So it's small, it'll heal. They do as long as I do all the right things.
Way back when, before the grown-up phase, we're one best friend. It was easy going roll. Life was anything but fair, but somehow we didn't care. Way back then, we saw all the movies on a big screen when we couldn't afford to pay.
Down the end here we've got lead lights. I think there might already be one. You can see that red light down the far end, flashing red light. That'll go white soon when we start turning into the channel. Once we're in the middle of the channel, it'll go white, and if we go too far to the right hand side or starboard, it'll go green, and that's how you know you're basically bang on down the middle of the channel.
We snuck in through the back, hearts racing as the lights went black. Hold up, when did we grow up? When did dreams give way to plans? Wonder slipped through our hands. Just hold up, just hold up.
The main channel pulling into Cairns is a very long dredge channel, and it takes forever when you're driving at 7 knots.
I watched him in the yard and wonder how the world still feels that wide. Skinned knees and open skies, no fear behind their eyes. Hold up, when did we grow up? When did dreams give way to plans? Wonder slip through our hands. Just hold up, just hold up.
In Cairns we pulled up to the pile moorings.
Why did we grow up? When did we start moving so slow? Used to run, we used to blow. Hold up, say hold up.
Waking up in a new place every couple of days is something we're getting used to. Here in Cairns, while Alena learns TIG welding, we get familiar with the local environment and settle in to finish off some jobs before Duncan heads off.
We couldn't afford to pay the price. We snuck in through the back, hearts racing as the lights went black. Hold up, when did we grow up? When did dreams give way to plans? Wonder slip through our hands. Just hold up, just hold up. Way back now, I watched him in the yard and wonder how the world still feels that wide. Skinned knees and open skies, no fear behind their eyes.
There's a lot of facilities and cafes and things right on the harbour. There's also a very long wharf complex which is used for everything from navy fleets down to
cruise liners and so on.
When did dreams give way to play? Wonder slip through our heads. Just hold up, just hold up. I said hold up. Why did we grow up? When did we start moving so slow? Used to run, we used to glow. Hold up, said hold up.
In the wheelhouse, we're making a few changes. So taking the front off this cabinet. So this here is a Chaos electrical box at the minute. So we have our Starlink router with our little 3D printed brunette holders that was kindly made for the boat. We have AIS over the back here. We have a couple of power points. We have a 12 volt fuse block over there, Nemia backbone. This is for the security cameras. This is what runs the security cameras. We have our RUT modem, and as you can see, it's securely mounted up here. So what today's plan is to move everything down to this bottom, because we are cutting the top of this here off, and we're going to be putting a sofa in this part of the wheelhouse. Now what we want to do, we're putting, you can see I've got the drill halfway in the wall. That's getting a 100mm hole saw over the back there, so we can bring cabling in, and we're going to start mounting stuff properly around in this lower half.
So, well, we haven't changed the wheelhouse for a good month or so, yeah, I was feeling like it was time to do it.
Yeah.
We're having a few issues other than moving all the gear to the lower part of that cupboard there with the Tectonica RUTX11, in that occasionally we lose 240 volts. We run the batteries down too low, so then the inverters just say, no, we've had enough. Trouble is, our router and modem that's being used for BruNet and the office back office network here, it's not coming up cleanly, and that's a big concern for us. So I managed to get it to boot. It takes a bit of encouragement. So I'm just having a look. I'm looking at firmware updates. There are some there to be had, but also we're working on with the Starlink replacing what's essentially 240 volt driven system to a 12 volt driven system with Starlink, and part of that is a little router modem that's come with that. So I'm just having an explore to see if this has got the sophistication that we need. We need to be able to set up a couple of virtual networks or VLANs on this. So I'm just having a talk to this to see if we can do that or not.
Things are progressing, less and less stuff up the top, and slowly getting things mounted. So we now have power, but if I turn my work light off, look at this feature. Whoop whoop! I can actually see what we're doing in here now.
Damon and Alena organise our tow ropes in the anchor locker. Being a project boat, we have to have the right equipment for future jobs, which means finding enough space for it and keeping it tidy. We decide on how to lock the back doors open. On Brupeg, because we launched before the boat was finished, there's lots of little catch-up jobs that we just haven't been able to get to, so it's a great opportunity being here. BabyCat does an inspection, and Alena and Damien get into the job. We've just dropped Alena to the wharf. She's heading to the airport. She's going back to the US for a month. She's got some speaking engagements she's got to do, and then she's back. We're picking up Duncan in about 3 hours. He's got his last day with us for the stint of work with us and time with us, and it's such a beautiful morning. The moon was just incredible coming over. So we'll head back to the boat. We're going to get sort of organised for the day, bit of editing, bit of electrics, and then we're going to have a day off tomorrow. It's Sunday. We're going to move the boat. We're going to come in here. We're going to get some water. I think it's actually at the end of this finger. Here we're going to tie up and we're going to get 3 hours of water, and then we're out on anchor for the next week, and we're going to work pretty hard to get everything squared away, and then hopefully we are going out to the island for a little bit of time off, which will be really nice.
So we got a fair bit covered this week now that we've arrived in Cairns. Alena is in the States. She's got a couple of speaking engagements. Duncan is about to head off. Jess has been flat out up the front doing editing and so on.
It's busy few weeks.
I have been welding, so we've made some doodads down here. Where are we? There we go. So a doodad, it basically locks onto that, allows the door, look at that, dun, dun, dun. Nice and solid, doesn't have any rattles because it's pre-loaded. Scooters are back together, welders up here because we've got a wee bit more work to do. We have fixed our pantograph hinge door over here. that was a tiny little tack weld and it broke, so the door was all floppy, so that's basically back to working again. Up the front, Duncan's been doing heaps of work in the wheelhouse, so he's just about getting to the end of it all.
This is our Saturday alias Wednesday afternoon panic.
Yeah.
What's it last day on Brupeg without a panic?
Normally we start a job 10 to 15 minutes before Duncan has to leave.
We're organised.
Yeah.
We did about 20 minutes before.
Yeah. And normally it's a 3-hour job, but this time we've only sort of been putting in, a 2-hour job?
Two-week job.
Really. Yeah. So down here we have our spare autopilot, but what we've been focusing on is actually gutting that. So that's completely empty now, able to be cut off so that we can fit a sofa along here. And in this area here, we've been doing a big tidy up. So we've mounted a light. Get rid of that one. So we've mounted a little permanent light over here, like so. And then we've tidied all of this up. We've got our 12 volt fuse block over the back there, supplying everything, and we've got one 240 volt power supply. Power supply 240 volt is for the security cameras down here. Everything else is running DC. So we used to have a Starlink router, that's now gone. We're running our X11 router for the whole boat, and that is powered from this little DC converter system here. So basically this converter system is a bit of a special one. What it does is takes 12 volt power and feeds it into both a 12 volt power supply for this router here, but also allows Starlink to come down here and plug directly into it, and then that plugs in turn back into the X11. So what this means is we can actually still log on to Starlink using the Starlink app, but we're using an X11 router, and the whole thing is powered by DC. So that's pretty cool. Our power consumption would have lowered because of that. We've got rid of excess appliances that we don't need, i.e. the Starlink router, and we've also simplified massively the whole networking arrangement within the boat. Last thing over in the corner of the blue box is our AIS, so that's been permanently mounted in the corner there, and then we've added a little 90mm cooling fan over the back. So this will get a door on it with some vents, but that there is basically taking the heat out of this box, and it's markedly cooler than what it used to get. So we've also been able to get charts for this whole area of Indonesia. So we're going to be heading up to the very top end of Queensland. So this is Cape York. This is sort of the mainland of Australia here, and we're heading to a little island just in there called Thursday Island, this wee one just down in here. So Horn Island, Thursday Island, we're going to be basically basing ourselves in there for a week, possibly 2 weeks, depending on how much we have to do there with the Navy and with any other projects that we've got. But what we've been really struggling with is getting charts for all of this area up here. However, we've managed to solve that, and now we have charts for all of Indonesia. Look at that. Isn't that just lovely? Now, a lot of people are probably going to wonder, where did we get charts for Indonesia? Because they just have not been available. You can't buy them through Navionics. And we found them through OCharts. And OCharts links directly into our OpenCPN system, so we can basically buy the charts, download it into OpenCPN, and then it's pretty much a chart plotter that'll just seamlessly link all of those charts together. So far, we've found OCharts on OpenCPN to be incredibly accurate. In terms of depth, we've found them to be sometimes 10 centimeters out at worst, so they've been really accurate from what we've been seeing in real life. So pretty pleased with that, hoping that the OCharts for Indonesia are going to be just as accurate as the one we've seen for Australia. We don't know, but we'll find out soon.
Thanks for all your help with finding the charts and all the electrics, Duncan, and for joining us to come up the coast. With Duncan heading back home, Damien and I are moving Brupeg today. We're going over to the local marina to fill up with water and then going on anchor here in the river. It's a great location close to central Cairns while we start preparing to go north, complete some work with the Australian Navy cadets, organise a new project, more on that soon, and get ready to leave Australia after 15 years.
But I think about you all the time. Looks like you're changing and all. But why didn't you call? Something in the air, always something in the air. Inexplicable, I can feel it in the air. Can you feel me? Can you feel me? why didn't you call? So many years has gone by, but I think about you all the time.
With a full load of water on board, it's time to reverse out, do a bit of a 3-point turn in the middle of the marina, and then hit the gas out the entrance and get over onto anchor.
Something in the air, always something in the air. Inexplicable, I can feel it in the air. Can you feel me?
Anchor alarm set, time for a CAT scan of our work.
Can you feel me?
See you next week.